Welcome to Engine Adventures review of this 2020 Mercedes GLB 250. This is the 2-row version. You can get it with 3 rows. Base price is something like $36,000. This one is the 4MATIC. All-wheel drive, so its base price is $38,000, I believe. And it is pretty small, but a fun little car nonetheless. This one is not an AMG, but it does have things like these AMG rims, which we'll talk about more later. But as you can see, they stick out pretty far. The tire barely sticks out further than the rim, which makes them in peril of being damaged easily. This one has a bunch of features, bringing the price up to $52,000 or something like that. But very nice, drives very well on-road, and you can see these on-road tires, Bridgestones, that they're kind of more designed for on-road higher speed performance. You can see the vented cross-drilled rotors there, only on the front. The rears are solid, and they don't have the vent, you know, kind of like 2 plates together with the vents in between. But overall, this thing drives really, really well. I just love how it drives on road, and it's very sporty. It's a little bit stiff. It's front wheel drive bias, so if you don't get the 4MATIC, then you're front wheel drive. And with just about every front wheel drive vehicle, for some reason, they don't handle the harder impacts at speed nearly as well as rear wheel drive based vehicles. So if you're on the freeway and there's a big expansion joint or something, it kind of hits with a thud. I mean, it's not a super common occurrence, but the only front wheel drive vehicle I've driven that doesn't do that is the Lexus ES. And I don't do cars very often, so that's probably not a good sample size for me, but it does. This one does have the same issue that most of the other front wheel drive vehicles do. Let's take a look under the hood. All right, so here we are. This engine is commonly known across the Mercedes lineup as the M260, I believe, or M264, depending on which version you have. But it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder. Cylinders run this way. It's transverse mounted, connected to a dual clutch 8-speed automatic transmission. But about this engine, it's got a, right here, it's got a twin scroll turbo. It also has, I don't know if I can see this anywhere. So it's got a 48-volt battery system and a generator to help recuperate energy there that runs a supercharger or another forced air induction electronically. So that adds boost at low RPM, and then this turbo takes over as you get into higher RPM, and it gives it good torque down low. I'll have to pull up the spec real quick. The torque on this thing is something like, I want to say 280. Horsepower is like 221. Anyway, it puts out, it's not a ton of power, but this thing moves fairly well. And I'll throw the 0 to 60 time up on the screen in the drive section. I'll put that anyway up there as well, so you get a little bit of driving with it. But overall, it's a pretty peppy little engine for not having too much power. And this vehicle's not tiny, because there is an optional 3rd row, but it's not that big either. So I mean, that's not a ton of power for the size of the vehicle, but it does quite well. I'm actually gonna start it up. It is, and you see the headlights dancing. Hopefully that picked it up. So this infotainment system takes, there we go, a little while to fire up sometimes. You'll wait for it to load, and eventually it'll get there. And then, so again, you get this one has the AMG steering wheel stuff, so you have all of the little touch screens and plenty of features. So this one on the left controls your instrument cluster, and you just swipe side to side with this to cycle through there. I mean, that's a touch screen, so you cycle through whatever you want. And then if you're on it, so right now I'm on that right screen. This is what the all-wheel drive system's doing. Oh, I'm in the middle. There we go, now I'm on the right screen. And then you can adjust it for whatever you want. That's the map, that's the torque and G-force, economy, another fuel consumption with showing the charge for that 48 volt system, and then your tachometer. Then in the middle, you can change this to various different things. It's on the navigation, but your phone, assistance, whatever, you can put whatever you want up there, the radio. And then on the right side, again, this is the off-road one, but there's just a bunch of other features you can go through here on the left-hand side as well, where the speedometer is, and that's clock and then speedometer. Also, you can see these colors as you go to different themes. Oops, touched it twice. These colors will change, and if you hit this adventure theme, it brings up the cameras as well. The rear view camera on this, of course, changes to a more adventurous color, but the rear view camera on this pops out. I'm in park, so let's go take a look. And it actually like folds out from right there. So when you don't have the reverse on or the cameras on, that thing pops up out of the way, keeps it nice and clean while you're driving. So if you're driving in a snowstorm or something, that doesn't get covered. Kind of a nice feature to have. This one does have these sunroofs, front and middle row, and I believe this front one opens as well. So typically I don't worry about that. I don't use sunroofs very often, but if you're in the back row, it does give you a nice, more open, airy feeling. So let's go back to the themes. There's this experience one. This is kind of a sport mode and changes everything to a yellowish color. And it also changes your instrument cluster as you go through the different drive modes. So again, just tons of features. I'm not gonna go through everything it has. There's just too many features on this thing. I do enjoy having the 3 vents here instead of 2. A lot of times the middle passenger in the rear can use this one for their face, and then it'll have other vents elsewhere back there for other places. But this color package is just an option, and I don't know if I would get it or not. It looks cool, but it's not that useful, I guess. It's just a cool thing, cool feature to have. There is wireless charging somewhere, and I don't know if that's what this is. Sorry, I should not have pulled that out. Anyway, don't know if that's what this is. You slide your phone in there. What is this? So I'll have to figure that out. I don't know what that is. If anyone knows, comment down below. Definitely not where you put your phone. So the wireless charging, nope. In the center console here, you got 2 USBs, and then there's another one right here, and this connects to the screen. So if you plug in there, it doesn't just charge it, it connects to the screen as well. And touchpad, plenty of other buttons here. This is to go through your drive modes, of which there are 5. So individual, sport, comfort, eco, and off-road. And then on the right here, you can see what each one does. So in off-road, you have comfort for the engine, off-road for the shocks, comfort for steering, and off-road for the electronic stability control. And then eco mode's eco for the engine, throttle response, and everything else is in comfort. Comfort mode, everything's comfort. Sport mode's everything's sport. And then individual, you can set it however you want. I usually just leave it in comfort or sport, and then we'll test out the off-road mode. Comfort's for most normal driving. Sport mode will hold on to your shifts and stuff for a while in the transmission, so you're running at higher RPM. Like I said, normally I'm just in comfort mode. Here it has the auto start stop button. It does have the Mercedes stalk for, push it in for park, up's reverse, down is drive. And then if you move it just a little bit, you can get into neutral as well. And paddle shifters for this 8-speed. And whenever you're in drive, it shows you what gear you're in, which I really like. I'm gonna have to zoom in on that, but and then you can set it to manual mode by hitting either the shift paddles. And then if you hold the shift paddle down, it goes back to drive mode. Gonna go back to the other theme. Orange isn't my favorite. Oh, it does have the lounge theme. So the lounge theme will change. You can see that's kind of purple, and down there's pink. So it'll put different colors throughout. Again, right there, pink and purple. And you can adjust those to be whatever you want. Let's take a look at the Monroney, and then we'll go through the rest of the vehicle. So like I said, base price for the 4MATIC version, $38,600. Ours with all the packages, $57,475, and that includes the destination charge. So the packages are: the steering wheel is $360. Those 20-inch rims we talked about at the beginning, $1,000. Heated and ventilated seats with the buttons right here. That's interesting. You can have them both on at the same time. Anyway, that is an additional $1,030. Sunroof's $1,500. The suspension with adjustable damping is $990. Sirius XM radio, $460. The Burmester surround sound system's $460, and it's a pretty good system. And then that color display. I mean, there's just all sorts of. Sorry, the Burmester surround sound's $850. I don't know how I said that. And then the color display ambient lighting is $310. Wireless charging is $200. And then the big ones here, bigger packages: driver assistance package, active brake assist, cross traffic, active distance assist, all the, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, speed limit assist, all sorts of stuff there. That's a good package for safety related stuff. I don't use a lot of it. Some of it I do. If I'm in heavy traffic, I'll use the adaptive cruise control. But the active LED headlamps, another $900. Active park assist is another $1,000. Multimedia package with the navigation is $1,150. The night package with the black elements on the grille and the exterior and all that stuff, $400. And then the AMG body styling with the perforated front discs and the diamond block grille is another $2,200. And the premium package, which gets you this big 10 and a quarter inch, 10.25 inch center display, and then the keyless package as well. So anyway, there's a lot of features on here, bringing the total price up to $57,000. Yeah, it's interesting how low you can get this priced and how many features you can add while staying in the GLB 250 without going up to the, I believe it's a 36 AMG and all that stuff. There's, so many different options you can get. Kind of cool. So up here, we already showed you the sunroof stuff, but these lights, I like how they are. They're not quite super yellow, but they're not quite white lights, so those are actually pretty good at night. And you can turn them on. I thought that would turn it on. So I just found the reading light. So if you hit the button up here, it turns on the light down here under the mirror. Interesting. I don't know why that's not turning those on. Those are the reading lights. And to scroll through the radio, if you're on this screen, you can just scroll left and right with it. It's pretty easy to use, actually quite easy to use. And then we've got all the park sensors and the cameras at the push of a button. As long as you're not going above a certain speed, I don't know what that speed is, 5 or 10 miles an hour, you can pull all those up. And yeah, easy access to everything you need. I actually like the layout quite a bit. It does have the cup holders here with those, so if you have a smaller cup, it pops out, and then there's a 12-volt outlet there. Let's go take a look in the middle row and then in the rear. So here in the middle row, interesting feature, the lock and unlock button, as there are no switches anywhere. There's no lock switch anywhere. And of course your window, little pocket there, the mesh pocket here with a hardback. The hardback, I think, is a good idea to keep from, kids in the back, whatever, pushing into the driver's seat. Same on the other side. 2 vents, and There's the 115 volt outlet, just 2-prong though, and a couple USB 5-volt charging ports. And then these seats, they do have cup holders here in the middle. These seats do recline, so you can pull on these little tethers, and they allow for the seat to recline a little bit or fold. So they don't recline a lot, but there is a little bit of movement there. And we'll fold them down here in a second, but basically to get access to the third row if you had it. So then also under here, you can slide the seat forward and back. So we'll take a look in the cargo area in just a second, but just pulled those. And there are these child tethers for all 3 rows, so you can put the child seat in any of them. Apparently I got to put this one up first. All right, in the back there is an okay amount of space. Like I said, you can pay like $800 to get the third row seats on this vehicle. There's a 12 volt here, little pocket on the other side. There are these straps as well, just a elastic band, and I imagine if you have a third row, those become useful. Underneath the floor here, quite a bit of storage, and I'm a little bit surprised that there's not some sort of a shelf that sits on top of here and up there to cover all this. But interesting, you have the air pump here and a separate repair kit. So if you just want to add air to your tires, you can. If you want to add air and add the slime or goo or whatever that is, you can do that. And then there is your hook for towing, recovery. And I believe if you have a spare tire, you have equipment that straps to the bottom of this. Don't know what you do if you've got the third row seat for all that. Button there. It does have the roof rack, but no cross members, and it's metal. I don't know if you can hear that. I mean, I think that's aluminum. So if there were cross members, it would be more useful. Imagine you can find those. And it goes full length all the way up to the front. So a lot of them with sunroofs don't do that. So that's good that this one does. Thanks for watching Engine Adventures review of the 2020 Mercedes GLB 250 4MATIC. Great driving car overall, really enjoyed it. And it handles excellent. It's not super fast, but that 48 volt supercharger along with the turbocharger on this 2-liter inline 4 does quite well actually, and especially when you're at freeway speeds, it's easy to pass somebody, no problem, easy to speed up. Doesn't struggle at all, and you would think with only 200 and something horsepower that it would maybe struggle a little bit, but it does great. Really enjoyed it overall. Base price is quite low for Mercedes at like $38,000 for this with the 4MATIC, and obviously this one's very well equipped, as are most media cars. Price comes out to like $57,000. So anyway, great vehicle overall. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the follow-up video, the off-road video of this that will be coming, and have a great day.